I've been very busy in my Minecraft world. I've added some more islands with ruins on them. I do like how these came out, and I think they make the base's theme a little bit more cohesive, because the original theme for this base was this kind of ruined aesthetic, as I started off doing over here. I've also created a copper field over here, his name is David, and I've also been going on quite a few adventures to get all the stuff that's in this shulker box here. I also finished off all the texturing and detailing on the bottom of these islands here, and I gotta say, it really makes them pop a lot more than they were before. I've also gone around the world and added a lot of mini blocks for extra decoration here. These ones look a little bit like mini melons. I like the shaping of these mini shroom lights here, and the little beehive in this tree is a nice little touch too. If you want to be able to place these mini blocks yourself, it is a data pack you can download, Vanilla Tweaks. And last but not least, I decided what I want my next build to be. I would really love to play around with the new Sniffer mob that was added into the game, and I kind of want to build them their own little habitat. It started raining, but I think somewhere around here might be a good spot for the build, like pretty much below where I am right now might be quite good. I've pretty much got all of the resources here that I'll need to build this. Before we go ahead and build it, I'll show you my little adventures getting the stuff in this shulker box here. Oh, a jungle, huh? Well, I know for a fact that the new trail ruin structure can generate in jungles. What we're looking for is a little bit of terracotta sticking out of the ground. Oh, that's totally one, isn't it? That is totally one. Yeah, it's got the gravel here. Oh, what? I found one. Let's dig. A green candle? Cool, okay. I guess the items you find it, like, kind of give some lore on, like, maybe the people who lived here, the kinds of stuff they had and enjoyed, and that's the hanging sign. That's one of the new items I haven't yet explored. Now, this one's underwater. It's a bit of a, gonna be a bit tricky to excavate. There's some other ones here. That is a dead bush. A pink stained glass pane. I think the pottery sherds and stuff are like very rare in this particular structure. Oh, that's one. That is the friend pottery shard. Let me just patch up the ceiling here to try and get rid of some of this water. And that's another hanging sign, it looks like. It's quite cool, like... Oh, did I just smash one? It sounded like I just smashed one. Oh no. I was about to say it's quite cool, like analysing all the different blocks and like trying to spot the suspicious gravel. Another shard. That is the sheaf pottery shard, which I think is meant to be a campfire. What is that? Oh, that's some white dye. Yeah, I quite like Minecraft having a little bit more game design to it. Like, for the longest time, this game has been very much a sandbox game with not a lot of, like, guided things to do. The recent updates have actually added, like, some actual games within a game, almost. You know, the ancient city is, like, its own exploration thing. Oh, I totally passed one by here. Oh, a smithing template. The razor armor trim. Cool. I didn't even realize you could get them from this. That is so cool. Oh, wait. What? Relic. I don't think I knew about that. What? We'll have to listen to that at some point. Oh no, I totally smashed one again. Oh, another one of the trims. And that one's giving me a block of clay. Not the best loot sometimes. Another armor trim. Really cool. And this is a... Oh, I thought it was a sherd. It's a flower pot. I guess it keeps going. I thought I was done. It keeps going. Oh, another emerald. That is... Yep, I'll always take emeralds. Oh, that's a candle. I thought that was another pottery sherd. These things are expansive, huh? This is just one of them, and it's taken me almost 20 minutes to go through all of it. Oh, another trim. Oh, yes, a unique one. Oh, cool. Wayfinder armor trim. Oh, awesome. Oh, there's still more. When will it end? I just broke one again. No. Very short attention span, and I keep breaking the blocks that you're not meant to break. And that glass shattering sound just rubs it in even more. Oh, a sherd. That's a new one, right? Yes, it's the creeper one. Danger pottery shard. This place literally just keeps going and going. I don't know if I just got like a really big one on my first try or if they were all this big. That has to be it now. This is quite cool though. Like almost like running through here, you can kind of get a semblance of whoever built this, what they lived like. I guess you could always take all the dirt out and try and like reconstruct these places. Quite interesting way of like having this environmental storytelling in the game. And you stop getting distracted, but this generation is so cool. Whoa, look at that cave. This is so awesome. What the heck? There's a lush one over here. Every single day I explore in this game, I get blown away by some new crazy generation that I've never seen before. I'll get my chest plate out here. Let's see what they look like on the chest plate first. Wild is interesting. Host is also interesting. Dune looks pretty cool on the boots. I might change that. Oh, whoa, Dune looks cool on the chest plate as well. I'll do that on my chest plate. I think Wild looks pretty cool on the leggings, actually. This is a pretty cool set of armor, huh? Let's give this a listen. Huh. This is cool, actually. I like this song. On some more of my off-camera adventures, I also found these guys, which are pretty cool, aren't they? I used them to collect the bamboo for this next build. Before we get into starting to build this thing, let's experiment with some of these pottery sherds, huh? I would love to make one kind of centered around the sniffer here. I think this one that looks like a tree and also this one that looks a little bit like a bush could do quite well, because obviously sniffers are kind of natural creatures. So 2 sniffers, 1 sheaf, and 1 shelter. Kind of like represents the sniffer a bit. I would love to use this block in our build today, and there's some interesting stuff that you can do with these. If you grab a flower pot and a plant, you can actually use them to put plants in, so you could actually place the flower pot on top and have whatever plant you want in as like kind of a bigger type of flower pot. They also make quite good lighting blocks, I think. The torch fits quite well in there, as well as the lantern. They're a nice little way of adding a little bit of extra detail with not too many blocks. So as I said, I've got pretty much everything here that I'll need to build this next island, so I still can't do time lapses, so let's jump to the first part of the build here. So here's the beginning of this build. I do like how this island looks. I went for a bit of a different vibe here, only using stone blocks underneath. I kind of wanted to go for that more grey and green vibe. I really do like this colour palette, and I think it will look even better once it has the glowberries and the hanging roots on like the rest of the islands do. So next I want to actually start building the build itself. For now it's just a floating island on its own, and that's where all the blocks in these chests come in. The interior of this dome here is deliberately made out of grass blocks and not moss, because the sniffers actually can't dig in moss blocks. It has to be grass, I'm pretty sure. I really want to make this build a very tactile experience. I want to have to interact with the sniffers rather than just shoving them in a farm and having that do all the work for me. This room here is going to be the incubation room, where we're going to have some machines that will incubate the sniffer eggs, and then once the sniffers are grown up, they can be transferred over through this little pathway in the middle here to the other room. So this is the kind of footprint we're looking at here. I think it's quite a nice size, not too big, but also it will be quite an epic looking build. This stone patch here is going to be a cool fountain that I really like the design of. Let's go and finish off the main structure of this building, shall we? There we go, the main structure is now complete. I've done some of the interior as well. It's not totally complete yet, and there's some bits I want to do in this segment here, but the general structure of it is complete now. And I gotta say, I really like how this came out. Obviously, it's based on the colour palette of the sniffer, with the greens, the yellows, and the reds in there. The dome shapes, I really like that they were used to make it like seem very intellectual place. You might see them on university buildings and stuff in the UK. The stained glass windows as well gives off that kind of knowledgeable vibe to me. Right now I've gone and collected a bunch of these azalea leaves and the flowering variant, as well as some of the hanging roots and moss blocks. I would love to go and add a bunch of vegetation into this, hanging from these ceilings. I really like what I did with these ceilings here. We've got these like hanging shroom lights coming down, some with flowers on. I've got some with the amethyst clusters on, and I've got some with the glowberries on as well. I just really like how they look. Now I'd like to add a little bit of vegetation to this, and these also double as lighting, which is very useful. Just dotting around a few of those adds a whole lot of extra life to this build. I think maybe a patch of leaves in this corner would do good. That looks pretty nice. I think though still the flooring is still a little bit flat and without any life, so let's go grab some things that can fix that. David is a little bit of a mob farm right now. Let's just ignore that for the time being. These warped roots could be quite good, I think, as well as some oak saplings. I'll grab some of these pink petals as well here, and I'll go grab some tall grass here as well. I want to show you how to use these saplings in quite an interesting way. You can make them into quite an interesting little small tree simply by putting some string on the top. That is quite lovely, huh? That has elevated this room from a boring room to a very beautiful looking lush room. And I think this is a very interesting vibe for an interior that I haven't seen many people do before. Kind of combining the natural stuff with the more built up man-made stuff is a very interesting effect, I think. And I've also included these warped roots in here to match the ceiling a little bit, but also just to add that extra element of like alien and otherworldliness into this build, especially because it's going to include the Sniffers primarily, which are an ancient mob, almost as if they're from another world. I'll also finish off the ceiling decoration while I'm here. Very nice. Not too overcrowded, but does add to the vibe quite a bit, I think. I do like this foliage I've added. And finally, I got to complete this room, which wasn't too much of a hassle. And I'm keeping this floor deliberately simple because we're going to have sniffers in here, and they need clear space on the ground to be able to do their sniffing thing. So as you can see here, we've got 3 main rooms, and they're all designed to serve a different purpose. So this main room is kind of just for looks. It's just kind of a connecting room between the main 2, but it was designed after a sort of research station. Whoever's stationed here, which I guess in this world is me, has set up all this equipment to research this newly discovered creature, the Sniffer. As you can see here, we've got things like a preserved Sniffer skeleton with various notes on its variety of features, and I think it's a great use of these hanging signs as well as like little like annotation boards on the Sniffer here. And a little machine, maybe it's taking readings from the Sniffer here. We've then got a little bookcase with various notes on the Sniffer, and then a little writing desk here as well. And then we have this main board, which is currently empty, but I want to put on here basically all the items that are related to the Sniffer in any way, as some kind of like information board to kind of show the connections between various things. Each wing off to either side has its own use. This wing over here is the incubation area, and then this wing over here is the breeding grounds. So I think it's about time to actually grab our Sniffer eggs and do some incubation here, huh? And while I'm at it, I will grab this pot we made earlier too. Man, I really like how this looks. I'm loving the more flat floating island for this. In between episodes, I did get 5 Sniffer eggs, which should be enough to demonstrate here. And these machines are designed in such a way that the Sniffer egg will be placed on the moss here, which makes it hatch faster. When the Sniffers hatch, they don't suffocate or anything. They will just simply pathfind and walk out of the little gap there. I feel like this pot is very relevant to put in the main room here. How about right there? I think that's quite good. It's like in this little writing area. Maybe I've noticed that these ancient sherds on these pots have a Sniffer-like emblem on them, and that is part of my research, like researching why these ancient builders have made these depictions of the Sniffer on the pots. But now let's wait for these Sniffer eggs to hatch. While we're waiting for these eggs to hatch, I'll take this opportunity to tell you that I have a Patreon and a Ko-Fi. If you want to help support me, subscribing on Patreon would be very helpful. One-off donations on Ko-Fi are also appreciated too. It would help make this whole operation a little bit more sustainable while I'm still small. If you donate any amount, you get access to a super secret channel in my Discord server where I'll post updates and sneak peeks at future projects and things like that. I'll also give you shoutouts at the end of videos. While I've got you here, I'm going to be doing some live streams more often. I kind of want to make it a regular thing. Click that subscribe button down below and also click the notification bell and set that to all so you get the notification whenever I go live. Now let's see these snifflets, shall we? I totally wasn't just watching YouTube while I was waiting for these to hatch. Hey, hi. Hello. Oh, that's brilliant. My machines work. Now the idea is they stay in this room until they turn into big sniffers, and then you take them through. Oh, they're so cute though, aren't they? I love this mob. I'm gonna skip the waiting for them to grow up step for now, but at least I do have this area to do that in future if I ever have an overflow of sniffers. Their walking animation is so funny when they're going fast like this. Come on. There's always one, isn't there? And then we will drop them off in this area. I'm pretty sure they cannot do the sniffing thing until they're adults, but we'll see. We'll see if they do. Apparently these guys take up to 40 minutes to grow up into the adult form, so I'll see you back when these guys have grown up. Here they are, they're all grown up, and I'm inside of one right now. Also, we have another friend here that I accidentally just looked at. Ah, okay. I'm gonna have to put you out of your misery, or put me out of my... Okay. That hasn't happened in a very long time. Oh, and my base is so well designed for getting around without an elytra, isn't it? I have a backup. I don't die very often in this game, but when I do, it seems like it's the most stupidest deaths, which is why I never want to do a hardcore world. Oh, yes! I mean, that's what I was going to be waiting around for. 2 pitcher pods. I guess while I'm waiting, I can be growing these seeds that I got given already. And that's what this farmland out here was for. Planting the past. Plant any sniffer seed. Cool. So I believe now if I just punch this, yes, it just gives me the pitcher plant. It doesn't give me the seed back. That is a really cool flower, and I cannot wait to decorate with this. There's gonna be some that's going into this build, actually. Any more seeds anywhere? Oh ho, yes there is. A pitcher pod and the torchflower seeds. Lovely. Any more? You having a little drink in your trough? Plant those over here. And that is a really, really nice flower. Very much unlike anything we've seen in this game before, but I do really love them. And I guess that makes sense because they're meant to be ancient plants, so it does make sense that they would be entirely different to other things that we see in this game. I think I'll start off with decorating a little bit of this with some of these pitcher pods. I've put one up there as well, which is quite cool. I want to have some more torch flowers, but I need to wait for them to give me more seeds first. Actually, I will go ahead and take this torch flower back because I wanted to fill out our little board here, our collection of things. So the pitcher plant will go in that glow item frame, the torch flower will go there, and I want to have the related seeds and related dyes there, as well as the sniffer egg there with 2 other related eggs in those item frames. Almost to show like my process of thinking when I'm researching this mob. I'm trying to make connections to things that I'm familiar with, which I guess that's what scientists do in the real world as well. What I could do eventually in there is actually set up some allays with a little like note block contraption to have them pick up some of the seeds. I might get round to doing that eventually. I think that would be quite a cool redstone system to have in there. I'll go ahead and fill this up as much as I can right now. There are some items that I'm missing that I can't fill this out with. I want to put like all the seeds over here because I'm like almost like comparing seeds that I know about to these new mysterious seeds that I found. Then I'll fill in the respective dyes here that match the flowers. Lastly, I will put an egg in there. That one will be a turtle egg, but I just don't have one right now. Then over here on this little writing desk, to finish it off, I will just put a book and quill. You know, I've been writing down my notes over here. I can also put some nether wart there as well to kind of finish off the like seeds section, if you will. And I think on this little desk here, a brush, pickaxe and spyglass would fit well. All items that you might use for excavating or examining something. Let's go check on our sniffers now after doing all that work. Is there any more seeds in here? Oh, I think I saw some. There is. I can go ahead and put in our torchflower seeds there. This is a cool system. I am really enjoying doing this actually. Last but not least for this video, I would love to do some setup for the next video because I've had an idea for some small builds I could do. I would love to add some more connections between these islands. And by that I mean adding smaller little islands in the middle that can be parkoured between to be able to traverse the base without using the elytra. This is going to take a little bit of finessing and a little bit of working out because they need to be far enough apart that they look good, but also not too far apart that they can still be easily jumped between. So the first set I think could bridge the gap between this island here and the Sniffer Sanctuary island here. And you know, I could always mix them up as well. I could add some that have bridges between them. I could add some that you have to jump between. Yeah, I think it could be very interesting. So I'm just kind of planning out where I want them to be here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Obviously, they're very, very basic at the moment, but the actual gameplay of it is quite cool. In the next episode, I want to turn these into actual floating islands, not just lumps of dirt in the sky, but yeah, look at this. The actual gameplay works. And I think it would be cool to add maybe a little bit of a broken bridge coming off here, kind of lending to the idea that these islands are kind of shattered apart. There used to be a lot more landmass here. If you can't tell, I love telling stories with my builds. It's one of my favorite things to do, to work in that lore. If you're ever struggling with what to build in Minecraft, just try and come up with like a story or a character or a race of people that you can base your builds off. It honestly really helps me get a starting point for where to take my builds and what to include in them. And also with building, like I'm doing here, don't be afraid to just like plan things out with rudimentary blocks like this. If you're not entirely sure where to start, it's okay to just use some dirt to try and get the shapes mapped out. That is going to be a tight jump. You can make it, but that is kind of sketch, so I'm going to put one down there. This is fun. This is really fun. You can go back and forth and get to each end of the base without falling off. So yes, in the next video, that is what we will do to start off. We will build up and texture these islands fully, and I think I want to continue working on the base in the next episode. I would love to get this storage system in finally, because down here, I have a massive chest monster that desperately needs sorting. Oh, lovely, more seeds. Anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. I'm going to stay here and play with these sniffers for a bit, and I will see you in the next video.